What's up, everyone? Smash University here. We're going to go over the results, little recap of Port Priority 6 up in Seattle, Washington. So, a West Coast event, so a lot of West Coast talent coming out as well. But, we had the magical three top seeds, which you already know it's going to be Leo, Tweak, and Spargo for an NA event. And that's when you know it's going to be a wild tournament. So, all of them, were within that top three, but there was, it was a pretty rocky road for some players, and there's a lot of. I think the biggest thing about this tournament is the character diversity, not only in top eight, but even within like some of the ninth placings. Like we had
Yeah.
Incineroar get ninth place, a local Incineroar going by Mystery Soul, and on top of that, the Jigglypuff, the Jigglypuff buffs coming through for base mage, also getting ninth. So I really kind of want to focus on that. I guess we can just at least talk about that first, and then kind of go over some of like the top eight results.
Yeah, man, absolutely. So it's pretty incredible because obviously we've been having bangers after bangers, honestly, coming out of Ultimate ever since we've been able to play offline. Been really exciting. A lot of people were eager to see what was going to happen. You've kind of had this whole meta going on about the top of the top, right, with Spargo, MKLeo, and Tweak. But like you said, you've been having a lot of these guys kind of have a showing here and there. Sometimes you get this other, couple like nuanced characters are breaking into top eights, maybe in top 16s. But this tournament, it was crazy. Like you had Leon, absolutely being insane, dominating a ton of players, right? Of course, Mario is a character we see every now and then, but we haven't seen that from Dark Wizzy, so it was really cool to kind of see him kind of come back into form. He's someone who's kind of been on a slump. People were really questioning kind of where he was at, as we were, despite him being a very great neutral heavy player, we weren't seeing that kind of optimization from his confirms, really, right? And a lot of people felt like his play may be outdated, it's not working. So he did extremely well. Of course, you had like the base mage you're talking about before. Those Jigglypuff buffs. It's funny because I saw a tweet from Fallen, right? Old school Smash 4 player, and he was like, "Man, when did Jigglypuff become a character with Touch of Deaths, right? Like, where did this character get these TODs?" And it's insane because this character's had a couple of these for a while, right? But you
Yeah.
didn't really have anyone really doing it out in tournament setting outside of base mage and random Captain L Jigglypuff when that would come out.
Right.
But those changes really putting in work. Not so much the down throw ones, but just the bear stuff. That people getting these easier confirms out of Dare, already getting a ton off the fact that Paladin just has flat out more hit stun. So that's getting easy confirms into the like a meaty fair into arrest, right? So you're
Yeah.
seeing a lot more of those things consistently. Even just the general combos you're seeing now on some of the characters in the meta who are really strong, but they tend to be bad at recovery. Now Jigs is finding a way because Jigs now has general combos that are good enough to kill people on stage with these like crazy insane confirms that can kill at early percents. But she's already had obviously the edge guarding, right? So now that you have those two facets working together simultaneously and the neutral's not as crazy, like you're starting to see some rise. And base mage, he's been putting in work since Summit, bro. Since freaking Summit, even before
Yep.
that, always studying the game, working hard, trying to play these top players, and he was able to cash out here, and he's going to be moving forward even more, man. So I'm really excited to see that. But I mean, there's just so many characters. Even Ned with Sephiroth, right? Just seeing
Yep.
that character come to form,
Yeah, we
thank
saw
goodness.
so many different characters, and even Dark Wizzy impressed me beating that matchup. I think Sephiroth Mario is pretty rough, but
Mm-hmm.
was able to beat Tweak Sephiroth and Ned Sephiroth in bracket.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, what do you go? I want to talk about the buffs too for Incineroar. I know it's for Incineroar, it was a little confusing, but essentially his up air does more damage.
Yeah.
Whenever you increase damage on a move, it actually increases its knockback. So pretty much what Nintendo did was decrease the knockback of up air, but increase the damage, so it kind of like
Yes.
evened out. And essentially,
Yeah.
it's the same exact knockback as it was before, but it just does more damage. So
Yeah.
more damage output. That's a very big deal. Incineroar is already a character that does crazy damage output. The one thing I saw Base Mage super abusing when, especially versus a set versus Karama, is the
Mhm.
forward throw angle. They made that forward throw like if Jigglypuff forward throws Little Mac at the edge of the stage, it's like it doesn't even feel like Little Mac can make it back. I don't know the exact like thing, but you essentially just like forward throw and it makes for easy edge guards with just like run off nair, run off fair with Jigglypuff. And
Mhm.
it kind of just forces your opponent to burn a double jump pretty early, so they don't have as much mix with the double jump. Now,
Yep.
now here's the messed up part. Now, having a forward throw that KOs or there's not a lot of forward throws that KOs. So when you give Jigglypuff a forward throw that doesn't necessarily KO, but it sends at a really, really good angle for an edge guard, you all of a sudden make Jigglypuff's ledge trapping stronger because you make the ledge trapping and the corner pressure stronger, right? Because if
Yep.
Jigglypuff conditions shield by the corner, and the thing about forward throw is you can be aggressive with forward throws, right? Like when you dash in on someone and you get a grab, you forward throw them, and like
Mhm.
that awards corner pressure because you can't
Yeah.
run through characters anymore in this game, right? So you can't
Right.
like run through and pivot grab back throw anymore, right? Because there's unit collision in ultimate. So
Yeah.
the only way you're going to get that is if you do like a cross up tomahawk behind them and get that, which is obviously a little harder to get than just a regular dash grab. And on
Yep.
top of that, if you catch normal get up with Jigglypuff and you're just shielding with Jigglypuff and you just react to it and forward throw, that's a very common scenario that sets up a very sets up your character's win condition, right? Edge guarding. That's where Jigglypuff can take really early stocks or set up things from like rest or whatever. But you know, when you set up a really good edge guard scenario off of a forward throw like that, it's gonna be very strong. And if you, in my opinion, the set that showed that the most was versus Kurama. So players have to be more aware of that. And they have to respect Jigglypuff's corner pressure and ledge pressure a lot more, especially if their recovery is bad. Maybe if your recovery is really good, you don't have to really care about it too much, right? But yeah, those are in terms, and then obviously, so that was the main thing I saw for Base Mage. Had a
Yeah.
game 5 set with Tweak. It was crazy. Wasn't able to get into top 8, but still an incredible run, ninth place. And then again, Mystery Soul getting ninth place with Incineroar. Uh, and I feel like we're 3 years into the game. You can kind of use the excuse of you maybe not know the Incineroar matchup, but like for the most part, you know what Incineroar does. He gets next to
Right.
you. He has crazy aerials. He has crazy tilts, insane damage output. Don't get a Alolan whipped, right? So
Yeah.
I feel like you can't really use that as an excuse. And I think Mystery Soul, like just as a player, had incredible neutral. I was very impressed from his neutral, and yeah, just played extremely well and was the top like Washington rep. So almost a hometown hero for this tournament, getting ninth. That's very impressive in terms of like the caliber of play that came to this tournament. The top three NA seeds and a bunch of other great, phenomenal players. Like getting ninth is crazy.
Yeah, man. That's a big point, right, to talk about too, because really there's a great story there where you saw a really strong play from West Coast in general. Like when you're talking about Washington and talking like NorCal, right? Um, like you just like, of course, Louis Money once again hitting a top 8. Right, this guy is staying
Another one.
consistent. He is there, right? Like
Yeah.
we used to talk about, like is he can he keep doing this? Now to the point where when is he going to get that big dub over all these people, right? He was able to get that one, of course, at edge guard over there in Vegas. But when is he going to do it when you have the top 10 players in attendance? Yeah, he's been playing very, very phenomenally. I mean, yeah, just all around incredible play. I love seeing from him as well. Just he did throw out the fox at one point in time too, so that was always nice to
Mm-hmm.
see. But man, like again, like you see all these characters coming into play, like Leon, dude. Like some of the most insane comebacks coming out of Leon. Honestly, that guy just doesn't quit. Just overall, just like really knows when he can put into pressure. He got a lot of kills actually from short hop bears, short hop retreating bears, and I really like him doing that in those kind of scenarios, right? Where he's going to be able to go like, okay, I'm not going to just stay in shield the whole time and hope I get a grab, command grab and just kill you. Like I'll jump back and sometimes I'll do that bear because fair is good in that scenario too. But if I get that bear that auto cancels and you could just flat out die. Like people were just exploding off him just doing a retreating aerial, right? Like it's so powerful. So it was great to see that from him. Obviously, you already know. You look at this top 8 in you see a lot of Espanol. You know what I mean? Like you
Team
have a lot of
Mexico.
these guys, man.
Team
Team
Mexico.
Mexico You cannot
Half
sleep
of the
on these
top eight.
guys, man.
Half the
Half the
top
top
eight.
eight.
Half of the
Half the
top eight
top eight.
was Team Mexico, and then I mean, shouts to Mexico. They're such a strong region. They're finally getting like the recognition, or they're finally getting recognized.
Hmm.
And I mean, they've been a strong region for a long time, but just
Yes.
not as much opportunity. It can be a little harder to come out to these North American tournaments with visas and all that stuff, especially with COVID and all
Right.
that jazz, right? So, really great. This was Big Boss's breakout tournament. Was able to get fourth place, and really good stuff to Big Boss. I believe this is his first top eight at a major. So
Hmm.
congratulations to him. Spargo did a fantastic job this tournament. Before I get into Spargo, to kind of set up for the Spargo, in my opinion, Spargo vs. Tweak was the best set of the tournament. Just in my opinion, it was game five. The play Spargo did at the very end was insane. Just
Yeah.
got that blazing in at the end to because Tweak was trying to space around the Pyra up air, and then he blazing in instead and got the KO off of it. Mm, that was
Yeah.
some good ass smash. It was
Yeah.
Spargo was they I mean they
He was
both
playing.
were just playing well, but Spargo
Yeah.
just had just edged it out and just had a little bit more clutch factor and was able to take a game five. And it was like absolute last talk, last hit. It was a fantastic set to watch. So good job to Spargo, and he even took Leo to game five. But
Hmm.
Spargo was actually supposed to meet Tweak in winter semis, but Tweak got upsetted by Dark Wizzy. So
Yeah.
a little early, you know, introduction into the losers bracket for Tweak. Usually Tweak gets into the top eight, like winner
Right.
side. There was a low tide where he did finish ninth, right? So some players might have been thinking like, oh snap, maybe we're gonna have a repeat here. Maybe Tweak's gonna like not get top eight at all this tournament, right? But Tweak, did the losers run and beat a bunch of great players. I think actually the first player he had to fight in losers was let's see here, believe it was Elegant. Yeah. So
Yeah.
Tweak beat Elegant 3-1. Then Tweak beat Fatality 3-0. Then Tweak versus Base Mage was a top 8 qualifier, which went game 5.
This is
Crazy.
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 That's so wild.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy set. Then Tweak 3-0 Chag. Those I remember watching the Chag Tweak. Chag and Luis, man, they're like the fact that Chag and Luis both got seventh and they both play Paulo is just funny to me. But
Yeah.
the two best Paulos that compete as of now, so very interesting to see that set. And Chag actually did really well versus Tweak, even though it was a 3-0. And then Tweak 3-0'd Leon, Tweak 3-0'd Big Boss, kind of just like 3-0ing his way right through losers bracket, and then he came up against Spargo. Spargo, I believe this is the first set Spargo has on Tweak in singles. I know he like beat him in squad trick or something like that
Yeah.
in Summit, but I think this is his first like tournament singles victory over Tweak. So congratulations, Spargo. He played fantastic, and
Yeah.
then even was took Leo to game five. I wanted to reset. I know everyone wanted to reset, but
Yeah.
damn, Leo just too damn good, not dropping a single set, and like business per usual. And man, Leo pretty much jammed it out with the Byleth the entire time. I don't know. I actually don't know if he went Aegis at all. I think it was like all Byleth. Like
Yeah. I
at
think
least
the
all the
Aegis
sets
is
that I
done there.
watched were Byleth. But I could be wrong. He might have used Aegis for like some other matchup or something like that. But yeah, I mean, I remember Leo walking off stage and he's like, Byleth's top tier, and it's like it's almost hard to argue with him at this point because it's like yes, Leo is the best player in the world, but there's a certain point where it's just like you have to realize that there are certain like setups he's doing and stuff like that, or certain moves that he's doing. Even like his ability to stall on the ledge with Byleth for five ever, you know what I mean, and like getting reversals with up B, ledge trump into up B, even getting like up B into like back air tippers on like bad DI or like DI mix ups or go into up air instead. Like Leo has that character mapped out, and it's very impressive. And it's even like, Leo did get kind of gimped a lot by ESAM when they played, but other than that, I feel like a lot of other players have a really hard time, like off stage against Leo because the threat of the up B is the reversal is so hard, right? So
Right.
yeah, I think even for my personal tier list, I think Byleth is slowly creeping up to that top tier area. Leo showing the world what the character can do, and it's so sick, man. I feel like Ultimate's kind of getting to the point where we're 3 years into the game, and most metas at this point. I mean, we do have patches, but most other Smash games, even Smash 4, we had patches. It was like pretty solidified which characters were, tournament viable and stuff like that. And you would, especially in that top 32, you'd see like a good clump of like those characters. But in Ultimate, man, we see so many character diversity, not only in top 8, but in top 32, top 64, and it's fantastic to see.
Yeah, man, it's been great, and we've been having a lot of character diversity. The players are going at it, and I like that. Even though, of course, Leo is still like he's the best, right? We're in a situation where you see that cusp of greatness from a lot of players, and I feel like by the time we get to Genesis, right, it's going to be wild, man. Like, especially if we do get some of the Japanese representation coming over.
Yeah,
Obviously, we had a summit. We had Zachary was able to be there, and
we got a
Nintendo was able
taste.
to be there. But we got a little taste, but still not nearly enough. Especially with the depth of the talent pool out there in Japan. So if we do get a good amount of the Japanese players coming out and just like people from all these regions, like it's not going to be easy, man. A lot of people are out here. They've been studying, they've been playing, and now I think people are getting used to offline play, right? So now you're starting to see the rise of some of these people who have been studying, like a base mage. Like, yes, the buffs definitely helped easily for sure, but I truly do believe that it's also just kind of the effort and the work and the time and dedication that has been put into it. And now that you are playing offline, you're seeing now what you can do, where you can react, where you don't need to react, like where you can't react in that kind of way. How can you set up your hit confirms better, all these kind of things. You're starting to see people kind of pull out with these characters, right? Um, and I think that's so sick, dude. Like, there's just so many characters in this game, and it's gonna take us a while before we really recognize how to play all of them and really know where these like tiers are. And for now, it's really about is like, dude, you got to play hard, like learn what you can, general about the matchups, and then like play your opponent because there's so much, man. There's so much depth in the game, and we're just seeing it more and more day in and day out. We're seeing people come to the table with something new, and I love it.
Yep. Well, so that's going to be it for our recap for Port Priority 6. The meta is looking quite juicy here for Smash Ultimate. But if you guys have liked the comment, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And let us know how you felt about the tournament at Port Priority. Jigglypuff getting ninth, Incineroar getting ninth. Do we know nothing about the game? Do tiers even matter? What's going on, right? So let us know in the comments below, and we'll see you guys next time.
All right, peace.